Mohammed Munir. He is a virologist over at Lancaster University. He joins us now live from the UK. Mohammed, good to have you on the show. Before coming on the show, I was just checking the numbers, and the global holiday season air travel numbers is higher, has exceeded the 2019 levels. Given the fact that we're dealing with a much more transmissible variant, are you worried at all that the picture might look very grim very soon after the New Year's?
Well, certainly. I mean, if we look onto the global perspective, then the Omicron, wherever it has been detected, is gone lavishly. And you can imagine that countries like UK, where we have a very high vaccination rate, if the Omicron has took by storm, then the situation in countries where the vaccine coverage hasn't been that high, it would be even more enormous. So certainly looking into the new year is going to be pretty grim because of the festive season, a lot of movement, family gathering, and a lot of social activities, particularly indoor in the Europe indoor because of the nature of the weather here. So I'm surely seeing that there would be a quite a lot of upsurge in the cases by the end of this year, and in January would be pretty grim.
A year ago, I think, or about 11 months ago, we were still trying to find a vaccine. Today, we have a number of them available. Like you said, the vaccination rates in the United Kingdom is relatively high. Now, in the United States, the FDA has just authorized the use of 2 new antiviral pills to treat COVID-19. Despite the record numbers, despite how quickly this new variant is spreading, we're in a much better position than we were a year ago.
Oh, absolutely, no doubt on that. We have not only the effective vaccines, we do have a enhanced supply of those vaccines compared to what we have a year before when these were first approved, and also with the pills, and also more importantly, we do know how to manage the patient in hospital. So therefore, it has all impacted positively onto the overall the outcome of this pandemic. And just to put into the context, if Omicron would be the first variant, the way it has spread, then we would have been in a very difficult situation. But we have now several layers of protection, several layers of management that we can put, and that is the reason that compared to the number of people who've been infected, the overall mortality is low, and that is down to the patient management, to the antiviral pills availability, and the effective vaccine program that we have had.
At the beginning of the pandemic, Mohammed, there were several countries who were trying to sort of adopt this herd immunity strategy. Obviously, that didn't work. I think the UK and Sweden were just a couple of them. Given the fact that this is a very transmissible variant, and given the fact that the vaccination rates are fairly high or is growing, could we reach herd immunity because of this variant?
Well, as you precisely put into the context, if we would not have the variant that can evade the existing immunity, the chances for herd immunity would have been very high, which means that people who once either are infected and recovered or been vaccinated would have antibodies for a very long period of time, so that they will be protected for reinfection. The problem happened is that with the beta variant that again started in South Africa, and also with the Omicron, these are primarily infecting people who already are vaccinated or pure exposure. I mean, most of the people in the UK and in South Africa, those were infected with Omicron, with the vaccinated one. So with all this complex situation, when existing immunity is not really protecting against severity of the disease or for the transmission, I think reaching to the herd immunity would be really difficult, and primarily saying so that this virus will of course mutate further. So more mutation this will acquire, better it would be in escaping the immunity. So if we want to really achieve the herd immunity, the vaccine coverage has to be at the global scale so that the virus have a less chance to evade the immunity, and the herd immunity would work the way it should work.
Mohammed Munir, thank you very much for joining us here on the NewsHour. I do appreciate the explanation.